Baylor is on its way to the podium at this time. And just a reminder to please silence all cell phones, and video and flash photography is not permitted in this conference area. The Baylor locker room is also open at this time. Thank you for joining us for the Baylor Women's Basketball Press Conference. We are joined at the podium today by head coach Kim Mulkey and student athletes Kawani Brown, Dakia Cohen, and Alexis Morris. As a reminder, please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll bring a microphone to you, and please identify yourself and your media outlet prior to asking a question. So we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Mulkey.
I really don't have one, so we can do this. Question me.
Okay. We'll open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Thank you.
The AP. This is for Kim. You came in on such a roll. Your statistics in the last couple of games were outstanding. What went wrong tonight that you didn't do particularly well, that you had been doing maybe all season long?
Hey, can you get the athletes first, like she said, and save that question, and then I can elaborate a little more? Is that okay? Save it for me, okay, baby? Okay, he wants y'all to answer it.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. I'm sorry. That's all right. That's all right. Y'all had come in on such a roll. Your statistics the last couple of games were outstanding, and then tonight it just seemed like you could never really get into a rhythm, get anything going that you normally do.
I think it starts with myself not being able to score the ball. Let my team down tonight, honestly.
I just think that, like you said, certain things weren't falling for us tonight that we usually get, and, we tried to make adjustments, but, it wasn't working, so I think we suffered the consequence.
This is for Ms. Brown. Did they do anything? I mean, I'm sure you've seen all kinds of defenses this year. You went out to the top of the key and hit some in the first half. Did they change up anything against you to make you change your game, or and same thing for Cohen?
No, it was nothing we haven't really seen before. I just couldn't finish my shots. And at the top of the key, she started denying me that shot after I hit a few. So I had to rearrange some things, and I was just out of rhythm tonight. So
I was just playing within the flow of the offense, and, if things came my way, then I shot it, and some shots fell, some shots didn't. But, we didn't try to force anything that we don't usually do.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. For Alexis, you guys did such a good job defensively in that second quarter, held them to 9 points. Did they do anything to change, or what did y'all maybe not do in the second half that you did really well in that second quarter?
I think our defense was good in the second half. I think we got stops. It wasn't nothing they did. It was us. We wasn't Baylor tonight. We're going to watch film. We're going to get in the film room, and we'll get it right.
David Smokey, ESPN Central Texas. Kalani, you mentioned last week after the early part against Michigan that you couldn't afford to play like that again in a game the rest of the way. Did something not click again tonight? Did you feel kind of the way you did after the first half against Michigan when things went wrong?
not really. She was able to finish and I couldn't. That was the end of it.
Kia, only senior up here, realizing this is your last game, how tough was this? How tough is this to go out this way?
It's very tough. It's not what I expected, obviously, but I think we fought hard. I think we fought till the end, and that's all I could really ask for. And I know that we all wanted it the same way I want it, even though I'm a senior. But, we fell a little short, but I'm proud of our overall season.
Any further questions for the student athletes? Okay, if not, the student athletes will be dismissed to the locker room at this time. And we'll now open it up for questions for Coach Mulkey.
Kim, I think they finished 9 of 20 from 3. You knew that coming in. I mean, did you feel like overall, though, y'all did a pretty good job on defending the 3?
No, I don't. I think their offense exposes you a lot, particularly when you're a man-to-man team, and that's what you play. But then you think, I can't go to a zone with as many perimeter shooters as they have. I thought their big girl, that kid, she has to be older than a senior because she played like she was older. I mean, she was dominant. We had nobody that could guard her. And she just reminded me of my days back in international basketball where she just dominated the floor. Shooting, rebounding, finding open players. She was by far the best player on the floor tonight, and she controlled the whole thing for her team. I should call her name, right? Gulich. I didn't say that senior. Heck, just a great player.
At PKP, just talk about what, about earlier question, just things that you would like to do that you didn't do well, and like I was saying, you were on such a roll.
Look, they're good. We're good. The next two teams are good. When you get to this level, it's just the nature of the business. Whoever hits shots, makes shots, executes, does what you have to do to win is going to win. We couldn't score the basketball. How many layups did Kalani miss? How many layups did, executing against their zone? We got the looks we wanted for Cox. It's partly what we just missed, but give your opponent credits. I believe in giving your opponent credit. And, guys, we milked that tournament about as far as we could milk it. Y'all know what that means in Oregon? With all the stuff we had this year happen to this basketball team, I can't go in there and chew them out. We lost to a very good team, a team that shot it extremely well, and we seem to bring out the best in people, and that's respect for our program as well. And we lose one kid. We signed the #1 recruiting class in the country. They'll be on campus this summer, and we will go back to work.
Kim, I think it was early in the game. Alexis had missed 2 or 3 layups, seemed to be going too fast. I think you may have even said you're trying to do too much. Was that the case with her? I mean, it was almost like she was going too fast.
Jerry, I'm not one to make excuses. They're a young team. We're a young team. We lost 2 starters in the last 4 weeks. It matters. It matters. Alexis Morris stepped in and did a remarkable job as a freshman. Juicy Landrum stepped in and did a remarkable job as a sophomore. I thought there were moments tonight where the lights were too big. I'd have to look at Juicy. Did Juicy even score tonight? She's played almost half the game and didn't even score. Now I'll have to go back and look and see, why. Were you nervous? Sometimes kids, the lights are bright the deeper you make a run in the tournament. I don't know. But I know we wouldn't be here today without her stepping in and doing good when Natalie went down. Morris is a freshman, and, she will learn. She will get better. And the good thing is we have them all back. Did we miss Christy Wallace? Guys, you don't miss – look, you lose your quarterback. Yeah, you miss them. We missed her tonight. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't have won the game. That doesn't mean we went in there thinking we were defeated. We fought to the very end. It was a 2-point game, and you make a defensive stop. We made a mistake on coming to help when I didn't think we needed to help. And that was a sophomore that made that decision too. So they'll learn from it. We'll get better.
Tyler Bolden, KWTX. Coach, 33 wins, and with everything that this team went through, was this the most impressive way a team could get to 30-plus wins?
Well, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. It seems like from the beginning of the season until just, 2-3 weeks ago when we lost Christy, it never stopped. You keep thinking you're going to get a break and something is going to make all the stuff stop, and it never did. It was just one thing after another. It started in November with the death of my grandchild. Then it was Trinity Oliver tore her knee up. We only had 10 to begin with. Trinity Oliver tore her knee up. Then we're stranded on the side of a highway with fog and bus on fire, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then we come back and Shamika dies. And it was just something that we had to deal with, and you have to deal with it. You're human. And I'm so proud of how they dealt with it because they really made coming to work enjoyable. And then you had Cox with the ketoacidosis. Didn't even play in the UCLA game. She's trying not to go into a coma because of her diabetes. Then we find out her sister has diabetes. We have to deal with that. Then we have 2 families going through marital issues. it's stuff that I don't have a book to go, what page do I find how to deal with this on? You just deal with it from your heart. You deal with it like you would your own family, and as a mother, and as their coach, and then yet we don't get a break. You just got to keep going to work. And you don't go to work with this stoic face like, oh, be strong, be brave. You cry with them, you laugh with them, you bring it out of them. And it's a testament, and I've said this many times, to the parenting of these kids, because they do care, they do hurt, they do have feelings, but they just kept playing. They won a Big 12 championship. They ran the table in the Big 12. They won the Big 12 tournament. They got a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. You know, there's a lot to be proud of, but probably the biggest thing that I'm going to take away from today is the experience that a lot of young people got. I looked out there on that floor one time, and I didn't have a senior on the floor. I had 2 freshmen, 3 sophomores on the floor at one time. And the value of their playing time tonight and throughout the year will make us a better team next year and the year after.
Central Texas. Kim, is it almost to a point with all of what you said that you have set a standard that not many people have reached in women's basketball, that when you keep knocking on the door and are falling just short, that it could become something that you want too much? And players feel that when they get here?
No. Who wants to go play somewhere that doesn't have a standard? I don't. That's called mediocrity. Name me another program right now that has that standard around Central Texas. Men, women, football, name them. I'm proud of that standard. I don't like finishing in a Sweet 16 or an Elite 8, but as I tell you many times, we're going to keep feeding that monster. And if we break through that door, we'll break through it. If we don't, we'll just keep feeding it. Does that help a little bit?
Kim, Graham Hayes, ESPNW.
Uh-huh.
You talked about Gulich earlier. How did you want to guard her? What were you trying to take away from her in the game plan?
She's hard to double because she faces up. She gets away from the basket. So she is one of those that's not just a back-to-the-basket post player. She sets those pick for the guards, but it's not like she's rolling to that block where you can double her a lot. She got some on-the-block stuff one-on-one, but they run a system where you have to respect the shooters on the other side of the floor, so you don't know how much do I really help off. I just thought the kids shot lights out. I mean, guys, they shot 60 and 45% in the second half. And, you know, that's what seniors do. She was the best player on the floor, and she carried her team, basically. She really did. She carried them in that she made everybody else better. She gave them good looks, good shots, one more rebound. I was very impressed with her.
Any further questions for Coach? Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Coach.
Uh-huh.
There are 9 minutes left in the Baylor locker room. Oregon State is on the way to the podium at this time. Just a reminder again to please silence all cell phones and that video and flash photography is not permitted in this area. Thank you for joining us for the Oregon State Women's Basketball Press Conference. We are joined at the podium today by head coach Scott Ruick and student athletes Maria Gulich, Kat Tudor, and Michaela Pivick. Just a reminder before we begin to raise your hand if you have a question. We'll bring a microphone to you, and please identify yourself and your media outlet prior to asking a question. So we'll open with an opening statement from you, Coach.
All right. Well, what can you say? It's been a heck of a week to this point, and we're excited that it gets to continue. And can't say enough about this team coming out and coming into another situation and game where you're playing just an unbelievable team in Baylor that has so much ability, so much talent, so much expectation, so well coached, so efficient, one of the most efficient teams in the country. You look at their numbers and you know, it takes a lot to keep looking at them because you don't want to believe any of those things because they're overwhelming. And for this team to take the floor and once again know they belong, play like they belong, believe that they should win, and play that way the entire time, I couldn't be more proud. It starts with Marie sitting next to me, and it filters through our team. And you saw incredible performances throughout our roster, you know, and hats off to Baylor for just continuing to fight and never going away. And I can think back to the first quarter where it felt like, man, we're in control of this game. And you look up and we're up 2, just because they seem to score so easy at times. And this game had incredible runs to it, and then when that final 3 went down, our 9th 3 of the game, Katie knocked that down in the corner off a mixed pass. You're like, man, we might actually get this thing, you know. And then what a great feeling the second that buzzer went off, and I'm so happy for this team. And you know, we go into every week throughout our conference schedule, play a Friday, Sunday just like this, and we always talk about there's 80 minutes on the weekend. You know, and you get 40 down, you got 40 to go. And so I'm so thankful that we get to complete that this weekend. So proud of the fight, the courage to get the W today. Excited and honored that I get to coach them again. And I have to say, I'm so grateful to Beaver Nation for traveling like they did. We had a great crowd here, a long ways from home on short notice. And they never disappoint. I always say that, and it's true. And so just really grateful, proud of our team.
We'll now open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Steve Bittenbender, Eugene Register Guard. Marie, going up against Kalani, I know she's finalist for National Player of the Year. What was your mindset in going up against her and, you know, really being able to dominate the game, as Kim Malarkey said earlier?
I think our scouting report said just attack her, and that was my plan today. It was just like my quickness. I think I just used my quickness really well against her. She's really tall and she's strong, but I think I could like get around her and have the shots over her. Defensively, my goal was just to keep her off the block, to just take away her left hand, and to not make it easy on her. She's a really tough person to guard, and I'm proud that we as a team accomplished that.
KWTX and Waco, Kat, and all made a lot of three-pointers and very efficient as well. But did you want to take more, or was Baylor's defense a little bit quicker than maybe you thought?
It adjusted as the game went on, but I mean, whatever helps our team win, if it's me making threes or not, just gonna do whatever's best. And just everybody found shooters so great today, and it just worked out.
Marie, just a quick follow-up on Brown. When she started hitting those 17 and 18, those mid-range jumpers, how much of an adjustment did you have to make on that down low?
Well, our game plan was to like let her, like make her hit those shots, and she did. So my goal was just to make her think a little bit more about her shot, to like if she should pass it, shoot it, or drive it. So I think I just adjusted a little bit by like getting a little closer and backing up again, just make her think.
Haley Lewis, KZI. Can you talk about just how physical this game was, and how there were many times I saw you would try to go up for that signature hook move, and a lot of times bodies would just end up on the ground, but you guys didn't seem to get rattled by it at all.
I mean, the Pac-12 prepares us for this too, so I mean, you kind of have to play through it. I mean, get a foul or not, the game's still going on, so you just have to play through it.
Joe DePaul for the Oregonian. One for Marie and one for Kat. Key sequence in the game, obviously, was Marie, your three-point play. about 7 minutes left to extend the lead to 6, and then Kat, your 3 to go up 9. Can you each take us through those plays and what happened? You drew the foul on Lauren, and how important you think that was to getting you guys home?
I think it's just gave us a little bit more momentum. We were trying to get to the rim all the time. We were trying to like draw fouls too, and I was just glad that I was able to just like spin off her and get the ball up and make it, and yeah, got the call. So I think it just helped us to get more momentum and get more energy for us to like defend them.
Yeah, they're more comfort points too, so it gives us that extra lead. And but I mean, to be honest, I didn't really check the scoreboard at the end because I don't like to do that. I kind of just like staying present in the moment, so not letting myself get ahead or anything. So.
In the closing seconds there, when it was just a 2-point game, you had the ball. You were able to find McWilliams there. What was, what did you see out on the court? And was it just that she was the open player, or what was going on out there?
As the shot clock was winding down, I tried to tack to see whether either I could have my shot or whoever helped kick it out. And once I attacked, I saw Natalie help in, and then so I just kicked it. I know Kitty's a great shooter, and I was confident in her ability to hit that, and I was so happy she did.
For Michaela, Mike Marcy with the Associated Press. For Michaela and any of the players, but Michaela, how were you all able to stay so patient against their defense, particularly not forcing shots, and how did that help you all today?
We knew with patience we'd be able to get whatever shot we wanted if we executed well. And at times we didn't execute well, but we know when we did, we would get good shots. So just going through our first read, second read, third reads, if that first option wasn't there, just staying with it and going into motion.
Any further questions for the student athletes?
Just one more quick for Marie. You were in Dallas 2 years ago for the big win against Baylor. How does this one compare?
It's pretty close. I mean, both. I mean, I don't even know, but I think this year is just more special to me because I heard so much with like the losses we had and the ups and downs we went through as a team, and I'm just so proud of like the accomplishment we have had so far, and we're playing so confident right now, and it's just so fun, and I'm just really proud, and I think that just makes this one even like bigger and more important to me, and I'm just very excited for the team.
Any further questions for the student athletes? Okay, you may be dismissed at this time.
Thank you.
You're going up against one of the most potent offenses in the country. They're second in points per game, second in field goal percentage. You hold them to 20 points below their average and under 40% shooting. What was the key to doing that?
Well, it's what we do. I mean, it's by design. The way that we defend, the way we keep people out of transition. I would say it's our signature. We're in the top 1, 2, 3, or 4 in defensive field goal percentage every year, and it's because we like to stay basket side. And you look at this team and their ability to throw lob passes, their ability to rebound offensively. You see teams play topside, which makes sense because it's hard to stop them one-on-one, and it's one of the trade-offs. You're going to allow Kalani to catch the ball. Some teams say no. We say, well, let her catch it, but let's keep her a little bit further away, and let's make her take that shot over the top of you. So at least you have rebounding position, and then you want to give them different looks like that. Well, this team transitions incredibly well. They're one of the best assist teams in the country. They shoot 52% from the field on the season, and they themselves only give up 32. I mean, that's what I was saying. Their numbers are crazy. And so our game plan was stay basket side and keep this team in front of us. Don't let them get to the spots and we know they love to get to, and make them work for everything, and then hold your own on the boards. And these are 2 of the top 4. I think we're 3rd or 4th in the country in rebound margin. Baylor's by far number one, plus 19.1 a game. I mean, that's incredible numbers. And so I knew if we can keep it close on the boards, just like 2 years ago, we're going to have a chance in this game. And we're going to put pressure on their shooters, and that was our goal. You know, I thought we did a great job keeping them out of transition for the most part. We made their post work for everything. I didn't want Kalani to be quite as wide open. I think we had a German-American translation or English translation issue with Marie, maybe. I'm just teasing, but I didn't want her to be that open because I know how good of a shooter she is. I mean, a 77% free throw shooter can make free throws, you know, whether it's a free throw or a jumper. You know, but for the most part, we made them take the shots we wanted, you know, and we knew it was just going to be a war on the boards every time that ball went up. And so, you know, that was our game plan. And that's what this team's done a great job of. And I said, I think defensive transition is going to be the most important tonight that it's been all year. I mean, and that's saying something when you've got UCLA coming at you, you know, twice, and you've got other teams in the Pac-12 coming at you, including Tennessee the other day. You know, transition's so important to that team as well. And so, like Marie said, we're playing extremely confidently. We're executing our stuff. You know, they've bought into our scheme, and it's because of Marie. You know, she trusts it. She knows it. She's been a part of it. And she's holding them to that standard within our locker room. And so then our execution is on point. You know, and tonight it had to be.
Coach, can you also address how they were able to stay so patient on offense against Baylor's defense?
Yeah, and I think that, you know, again, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm selling our conference, but our conference is good. I mean, if you look at who we play against night in and night out and the schemes that you see, it prepares us. You know, we had Notre Dame early this year. We had Duke early. Those were the painful losses that Marie talked about. Both those games ended in tears for her. She had tears in the locker room. Marie's a winner, and those were hard for her because she's used to dominating. And the last 3 years we have, for the most part, and that was tough for her. You know, and so when you go through all those tests, then you learn what it takes. You know, and we have a rookie point guard in Michaela Pivic out there. Bless her heart, you know, competing like crazy, thrown to the wolves, out of position, but surviving and doing it really gracefully now. And so this team knows that when we need a good shot, they know what it is. They know, okay, even versus this pressure, we've got to manage the clock and we've got to manage this possession and we've got to find the right shot. And so when you play a team like Baylor, part of the tempo issue, you can't turn it over. You can't hand them possessions by either a turnover or taking a quick, poor shot. I thought we took a couple early ones in the first quarter. They were pretty good looks, but they were quick with no rebounding position. They didn't have good balance, and that led to leakouts. But overall, they just know how to win. You know, this team knows what it takes to win, and I think that leads to possessions like that against a great defense and a great offense.
Katie's three there, 10 seconds to go. Especially given the circumstances, and I think she only had 4 points up at that point and was 0 for 3 at that point from beyond the arc. Is that the biggest shot of the season for the team this year?
Well, I mean, this is the biggest win, so it's not. I mean, there's a couple others where, you know, you think about getting into the tournament. You know, I mean, she had a lob layup, you know, in an overtime win at the buzzer to send it to overtime. That was a win earlier in the year. She had a lob layup against UCLA off a baseline out of bounds play. You know, so you look at things like that. We're up 2. We certainly didn't want them to have the ball, you know, in a 2-point game at the end. So it was a huge shot for that reason. But it iced the Sweet 16 game and created the Elite Eight opportunity for us. And so it was a huge one. You know, and that's somebody that hit 3 threes against UConn in the Final Four a couple years ago as a freshman. And so Katie's hit nothing but huge shots for us this year. And so didn't surprise me at all. And it was a great setup by Michaela. A beautiful pass.
Scott, sorry about that. You mentioned a lot of the stats about how good Baylor is offensively. Was there one thing in particular that you all tried to work on in preparation, or was there one specific player you wanted to shut down today?
Yeah, well, the one thing we wanted to shut down was offensive rebounds. That when you look at that team, that's what you fear the most. Their guards are so quick. They create off the dribble. You know, they have side on-ball screens, you know, a lot. I mean, that's probably the action that they use the most. And that for good reason. That creates a lot of trouble. And so when that guard drives middle, the help comes, and they've got dump-off passes, you know, to probable All-Americans, right? And so how do you defend in a way that keeps those post players out of position to get offensive rebounds? So that was really the trick. And so, like I said earlier, if you keep them behind you, in front of you, if you keep them away from the rim, and you can defend in a way that does that and help in a way that does that, that gives you a chance. And so that was the number one thing. So out of transition, rebounding position, and try to force them out of the middle. Those guards are so good. Once they get middle, they make great decisions, and that's where they score the best from.
Scott, with all that was going on over the past 5 days, the travel, finals, game prep for Baylor, all that, how did you manage all that? How did you get this team into a routine to be able to be here tonight?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's been hard. It's been, today, I'll tell you the number one thing is our staff is incredible. That's number one. They, from logistics to thinking every single thing through, helping me with everything I can do, phenomenal. Everybody that I get the chance to work with. And so they've been a calm in this storm, and they've been they're just the best. They're mature, they just get it, and they do anything for this team. And so our staff is number one. You have not a post, but you have a leader like Marie who approaches everything with a professionalism that her expectations for people being prepared, you don't mess with Marie when it comes to that, nor did you with Gabby or Sydney or Jamie or Ruth. We've invested so much. Take care of yourself. We had finals last week. There's still a couple, I think, to be taken still. And so not only did we travel across the country and back, we took finals, and we prepared for the number 2 team in the country, and all of these things. And, played people long minutes, and they didn't seem tired. And so I think it's just, the will, and it's an expectation of excellence throughout. And, that's probably the thing I'm happiest about. This team is continuing that legacy of being incredible role models, not just to young girls, not just to young people, to everyone. They're inspirational, just the way they carry themselves. And it's not a women's basketball thing, it's a life thing. They do everything right, and because of that, they can create experiences like what you just witnessed. There's a reason we're supported like we are. This team chooses to operate at an incredibly high level, and so I would attribute it to the character of the people in our program, and their professionalism and their desire to do things right. And it's a joy to be a part of. It's really special.
Coach, when you think about women's powerhouse basketball teams, Baylor and Tennessee are right up there on the top. You just took both of them out. And now do you think that Oregon State is maybe on the verge of creating tradition and a powerhouse in women's basketball now?
Well, somehow we seem to continue to remain a secret. This team is 62-10 in the number 1 conference in the country the last 4 years. I know the expectations were low, but I don't know if people expected us to disappear this year. I know we graduated Sydney and Gabby and Bree and Colby last year, but do you know who Michaela Pivick is? Do you know who Marie is? Do you know who Katie McWilliams is? Do you know who Taya Corsdale is? Do you know who these people are? They're winners. We've won a lot. This is my 22nd year coaching. It's not like by accident that we won the Pac-12 3 years in a row and went to a Final Four. You don't luck into that stuff. And so we have not done it the length of time that Baylor did or has. We have not done it the length of time that Tennessee has. But I don't think anybody that follows our sport is surprised. I don't think our conference is surprised that we competed like we did. We're a weird loss to USC and a 3-point loss at home to Stanford from winning it again this year. We beat Oregon, we beat UCLA, and now we beat Tennessee and Baylor. And so that's the expectation in our program. It's mine. I don't look at this stuff. We have an opportunity to win a game today, so this is going to be a blast. Let's go figure out how to beat Baylor. Why not? That's how I live. If you have a chance, why not? If you're going to do it, you might as well win. And so that's just the belief that I took this job with 8 years ago when we had one player, and that's probably the reason here. It's the reason Pat Casey's built our baseball program up for the exact same reason. I don't see that stuff. I see an opportunity. I get to help these young women find out what they're capable of, and who are we to put restrictions on what you're capable of? And so we just speak confidence into them. We work like crazy, and we say, why not us? And we don't just say it, we believe it. Why not? And so that belief, I'm so happy that this team has embraced that. But you look back, and it started with Jamie Weisner. It started with Ruth Hamblin, and those, they had to believe first, and now this team has followed suit. And so, yeah, so it's really awesome, but I can't say I'm surprised any longer. I don't think anybody should be.
Coach Morris goes off for them in the last couple of minutes, and you didn't. I was watching you, and you didn't seem too panicked. Is that fair to say? Take us inside the huddle in that last minute after she scores 9 points, like 45 seconds.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. These are competitors, and she's good. I fear her. I mean, I've watched their last several games, since Wallace went down, and she's stepped up, and you've got a Texas girl representing Baylor on the biggest stage, and she's embraced it with everything, and she's a phenomenal player. And so I'm just not surprised. I'm a little disappointed that we gave up the last one. I didn't want to give up that one. We just had talked about that, but she hit another deep, tough three. And so as a teacher, you can't allow them to see you panic, and so on the inside, I'm like, okay, we can't, dang it. Nice shot, but we can't do anything about it. So what's next? Next play. Okay, now they're going to press us. Let's advance. Whatever. The next thing happened, but no, there's no reason to be panicked. And to be honest, that's kind of the fun of this. It's kind of the fun of it. Let's figure this out now. This is another issue, a big issue. Stop making these tough shots, But if you think that Baylor's going to go quiet, you're crazy. There's no way that team's going quiet. 30 straight wins. I think 6 losses ago was our game with them. They haven't lost much the last decade. And so, they're used to winning just like we are. So, of course, they're going to make huge plays. And so, there was 10 seconds to go, and we're up 5. And I'm like, they got the ball out of bounds. I'm like, that's why I called a timeout. This is not over. This is crazy stuff happens. This is March Madness, and it's November Madness when it's November, too. It's basketball. And so it's not over until that buzzer rings or goes off. And so, yeah, but me freaking out doesn't help anybody. Yeah.
Scott, would you rather face Stanford, a team that you've seen before? I don't know. Or would you rather play Louisville, a team that hasn't seen you?
Yeah. I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter what I think in that. I think in Louisville, they're a phenomenal team. They're a 1 seed. They're the home team, basically. So that comes with its challenges. And in Tara, Stanford comes with their challenges. She's an incredible coach. And so I don't know what's going on out there, but nothing would surprise me in that game. So either way, you're facing an elite opponent in the Elite 8. And so that's all good.
Any further questions for Coach? Okay, thank you, Coach. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you. Go Beefs. Kids, can we take that? If you don't mind, I'm going to take a picture with my kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Macy and Kate and Cole, come on up here real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to get off the stage so he can take a picture with his family. You don't need me in the picture.